Hello guys, I am Sketching Thoughts, and today we are going to see why fixing yourself became another way to hate yourself. Have you ever felt like your entire life has turned into a project, a problem to solve, a version of yourself that always needs improvement? You read books, watch self-improvement videos, set goals, build routines, and yet, somehow, the more you try to become better, the worse you feel about who you are right now. Why does that happen? And how can something that starts as self-care slowly turn into self-rejection? Let's find out. Maybe your day begins with a promise. Today, you'll be more disciplined, more focused, more productive, more confident. But by the end of the day, one missed habit feels like proof that you're failing. One mistake becomes evidence that you're still not enough. And slowly, without realizing it, you stop living your life. You start evaluating it. Every action becomes a score. Every feeling becomes a problem. Every weakness becomes something that must be removed. The strange part is that nobody around you may notice. From the outside, you look motivated, responsible, driven. But inside, there's a quiet voice constantly asking, why am I not better yet? Psychologists call this a form of contingent self-worth. Your value becomes dependent on performance. You don't feel worthy first and then improve. You believe improvement is what will finally make you worthy. And that's where the trap begins, because the finish line keeps moving. You achieve one goal, then immediately create another. You fix one flaw, then discover three more. The mind starts treating life like an endless repair shop, and eventually you forget something important. You are supposed to be living, not endlessly renovating yourself. This affects more than motivation. It changes your identity. You stop asking, what do I enjoy? And start asking, what would the better version of me do? You stop listening to yourself and start measuring yourself. Even relationships begin to change. Compliments don't feel real because your brain immediately focuses on what still needs fixing. Achievements feel temporary because they never solve the deeper feeling underneath. The feeling that says, maybe I'm still not enough. And if you've experienced this, there's something important you need to understand. The problem isn't that you're trying to grow. The problem is the emotional contract you've unknowingly made with yourself. The contract that says, I'll accept myself later, but later never arrives. And the reason why is deeply psychological. Here's the reframe. You are not broken. This pattern didn't appear because something is wrong with you. It appeared because your brain was trying to protect you. Many people learn very early that approval comes from achievement, good grades, good behavior, good performance, good results. The brain notices a pattern. When I improve, I receive acceptance. So it builds a strategy. Keep improving, keep performing, keep earning worth. At first, this strategy works. It helps you succeed. It helps you adapt. But eventually, the strategy becomes so automatic that you forget it was only supposed to be a tool. Now, it becomes your identity. And every moment of imperfection feels dangerous, not because the mistake matters, but because your brain links mistakes to rejection. That's not a flaw. That's an adaptation. The problem is that what once protected you may now be hurting you. And to understand why, we need to look at what happens inside the brain. Imagine your mind as a navigation system. Its job is to detect gaps, the distance between where you are and where you want to be. This ability helped humans survive. If our ancestors noticed no problems, they wouldn't prepare for danger. They wouldn't improve tools. They wouldn't adapt. The brain evolved to scan for what's missing, not what's already enough. This creates a psychological phenomenon called the negativity bias. Your mind naturally gives more attention to flaws than strengths, more attention to mistakes than successes, more attention to what remains unfinished. Think of it like a spotlight. The spotlight automatically points toward problems, not because you're failing, because that's how the system was designed. Now add modern self-improvement culture, thousands of videos, advice, routines, optimization strategies. Suddenly, your brain has endless new flaws to focus on. The spotlight never turns off. And here's the mental model. Imagine carrying a mirror that's supposed to help you adjust your appearance, a useful tool. But eventually you start staring into it every minute of the day. The mirror stops helping. It starts becoming a source of suffering. That's what happens when self-awareness becomes self-surveillance. Growth turns into judgment. Improvement turns into criticism. And fixing yourself slowly becomes another way of telling yourself that who you are right now isn't acceptable. So what can you do instead? Before we continue, if you're enjoying this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. It helps more people discover these ideas and supports the growth of Sketching Thoughts. Now let's continue. The goal isn't to stop growing. The goal is to change your relationship with growth. Here are 4 principles that can help. Principle 1. Separate worth from performance. What to do? Notice when your self-respect rises and falls based on results. Why it works. Research in psychology shows that stable self-worth creates greater resilience than conditional self-worth. When your value isn't constantly being tested, the brain experiences less threat and less anxiety. Real-life example. If you miss a workout, avoid turning it into evidence about your character. Treat it as a behavior that happened, not an identity statement. One missed workout means you missed a workout, nothing more. Principle 2. Measure direction, not perfection. What to do? Focus on whether you're moving forward, even slightly. Why it works. The brain responds strongly to progress signals. Small wins release dopamine that reinforces behavior. Perfection rarely arrives. Progress creates momentum. Real-life example. Instead of asking whether your morning routine was perfect, ask whether today was 1% better than last week. Principle 3. Practice self-observation without judgment. What to do? Describe your thoughts and emotions like a scientist collecting information. Why it works. This creates psychological distance. Neuroscience research suggests that labeling emotions reduces emotional intensity and improves regulation. Real-life example. Instead of saying, "I'm lazy," say, "I'm noticing resistance towards starting this task." The second statement creates awareness without self-attack. Principle 4. Create moments where improvement is not the goal. What to do? Spend time doing activities purely for experience, not optimization. Why it works. The brain needs spaces free from evaluation. Constant monitoring activates stress systems. Play and presence activate different neural networks associated with restoration and creativity. Real-life example. Listen to music without trying to learn something. Take a walk without tracking steps. Read a book without worrying about productivity. Just be there. When these principles come together, something interesting happens. You don't stop growing. You actually grow more sustainably, because growth no longer comes from self-rejection. It comes from self-respect. And that's the mental model I want you to remember. Imagine you're caring for a garden. A gardener doesn't scream at a plant for growing slowly. A gardener creates conditions: sunlight, water, patience, attention. Growth is the result, not the command. For a long time, you may have believed that criticism was pushing you forward, that without pressure, you'd stop growing. But many people discover the opposite. The harsh voice wasn't creating growth. It was creating fear. And fear can produce movement, but it rarely produces peace. The version of you that keeps trying so hard to improve isn't your enemy. It's a part of you that learns survival through achievement, a part that deserves understanding, not punishment. Maybe the next chapter of your life isn't about fixing everything. Maybe it's about learning how to stop treating yourself like a problem, because you were never meant to spend your entire life becoming worthy. You already are. Growth is something you do. Worth is something you have. And those are not the same thing. So tonight, before you fall asleep, ask yourself one question. If you didn't need to earn your value tomorrow, how differently would you live today? And whatever answer comes up, sit with it for a moment. It might reveal something you've been searching for all along. Thank you for watching Sketching Thoughts. If this video resonated with you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. Until next time, be a little kinder to the person you see in the mirror. Sketching Thoughts. If this video resonated with you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. Until next time, be a little kinder to the person you see in the mirror.